25 men, 1 woman, 24 hours. In the heart of ancient Rome, inside a dimly lit brothel cell in the city's most dangerous district, an impossible competition was taking place. The Empress of the most powerful empire on earth had just challenged Rome's most legendary prostitute to see who could satisfy more men before dawn. Money wasn't the prize. Status wasn't the reward. This was pure, raw competition. And what the Empress did that night would seal her fate forever. Her name was Valeria Messalina. She ruled beside her husband by day and worked as a prostitute by night. And when she finally went too far, her execution would be so swift that historians still argue whether the stories about her were even humanly possible, or if they were the most devastating character assassination ever written. What you're about to hear will make you question everything you thought you knew about power, sex, and ancient Rome. Before we uncover what really happened behind palace walls, make sure you're subscribed, because what's coming will completely change how you see ancient Rome. Hit that like button if you've ever wondered how much of ancient history is propaganda versus truth. Comment below which part of this story shocks you most. We'll be revealing details that even historians find almost impossible to believe. What you're about to hear comes from multiple ancient sources: Tacitus, Suetonius, Juvenal, and Pliny the Elder, all writing within decades of these events when eyewitnesses were still alive. Modern forensic historians have spent centuries trying to separate fact from political propaganda. The truth they've uncovered is somehow both less extreme and more fascinating than the legends suggest. The year is 38 CE, and Rome stands at the center of the known world. The marble temples gleam white under the Mediterranean sun, but in the shadowed corridors of the imperial palace, something darker is taking shape. The Emperor Caligula's reign has descended into madness. Executions happen daily, paranoia infects every conversation, and survival requires making yourself seem harmless, irrelevant, invisible. In one of the palace's less prestigious wings lives Claudius, the emperor's uncle. He's 47 years old, and everything about him screams weakness. He stutters when nervous. He drags one leg when he walks. Saliva sometimes escapes his mouth when he speaks. For decades, his own family has treated him as an embarrassment, keeping him away from public view, assuming he's too simple-minded for politics. This assumption will save his life. Across the city, in a mansion befitting Rome's ancient aristocracy, lives 15-year-old Valeria Messalina. She descends from Augustus's sister, making her blood as blue as it gets in Rome. Ancient sources describe her as beautiful, dark hair, pale skin, features that conform perfectly to Roman ideals. But what strikes people most about her isn't beauty. It's intensity. When she looks at you, you feel examined, evaluated, judged. She's intelligent, ambitious, and about to have her entire future decided without anyone asking her opinion. Roman marriages among the elite aren't about love. They're about alliances, bloodlines, political advantage. When Caligula decides to marry Messalina to his embarrassing uncle Claudius, nobody imagines it matters much. Claudius will never be emperor. This marriage just keeps Messalina close to the palace, produces children with imperial blood, and solves a minor political problem. The girl herself has no say in the matter. One day she's told she'll marry a man 3 decades older than her, a man she finds physically unappealing, and that's that. Her wedding night at 15 years old to a drooling, stuttering man in his late 40s must have been traumatic in ways ancient sources never acknowledged, because Roman culture didn't recognize female consent as particularly important. Then, just 3 years later, everything changes. Caligula is assassinated by his own guards in 41 CE. Chaos erupts. Who will be emperor? As soldiers search the palace, they find Claudius hiding behind a curtain, trembling. Almost as a joke, they proclaim him emperor. Suddenly, impossibly, the man everyone dismissed as an idiot rules the greatest empire in history. And Valeria Messalina, barely 18 years old, becomes Empress of Rome. Little did anyone know that this teenage empress would become the most notorious woman in Roman history. Her name forever associated with sexual excess, so extreme that 2,000 years later, we're still talking about it. Imagine yourself in Messalina's position. You're 18. Your husband is emperor, but he's also nearly 50, physically unappealing, and by all accounts, not particularly interested in sex. You have unlimited wealth, command over thousands of servants, and access to anything Rome can offer. You've already produced 2 children, securing your position. What do you do with absolute power and complete boredom? According to ancient sources, Messalina began slipping out of the palace at night. She would wear a blonde wig to disguise her dark hair, dress in ordinary clothes, and disappear into Rome's streets, accompanied by just one trusted attendant. Palace guards noticed but said nothing. What could they say? She was the empress. Confronting her could mean execution. Where was she going? To the Subura, Rome's notorious red light district, where prostitutes worked in tiny cells and sailors from across the empire came seeking pleasure. Tacitus and Suetonius both report that Messalina worked in a brothel under the name Lyciska, which means she-wolf. She paid the brothel owner for the privilege of using a room. She serviced clients who had no idea they were sleeping with the Empress of Rome. The psychological complexity of this behavior is staggering. This wasn't forced prostitution, she was paying to do it. This wasn't financial desperation, she commanded the wealth of an empire. According to sources, she sometimes charged normal prostitute rates, other times worked for free. The motivation wasn't money, it was something else entirely. If you're shocked by what you're hearing, hit that like button, because the contest with 25 men is coming, and it's somehow even more unbelievable than what we've covered so far. Back at the palace, Messalina played the role of dignified empress perfectly during daylight hours. She attended state functions beside Claudius. She received foreign dignitaries with appropriate gravitas. She managed imperial household affairs efficiently. Nobody watching her at official events would suspect that hours later she'd be in the Subura, serving anonymous clients in a prostitute's cell. But Messalina wasn't content with anonymous encounters.